Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the report regarding the Moscow Crocus City Hall terrorist attack. So it must be rather confusing, though, and information you may receive based on what time you were online, what time you were searching on might differ, and because it was a developing situation, if you have been seeing this a few 10 hours ago, or what, 20 hours ago, information might differ. So I'm going to sum up some of this information, the latest information that we have, and of course the developments, how the whole thing have progressed, from the early times all the way, how it progressed, and what is the rhetoric that is currently happening all around. So we're going to cover, the initial stuff that has happened during the attack, and then we'll go on into what happened to the perpetrators as they escape and then their arrest. So for those that just want to jump into the conclusion, all the suspect, including their collaborators, has been arrested. They are still probably looking for more, but a total of 11 people has been arrested. And then we go to also go into some of this misinformation or information or propaganda or whatnot, about the origins of this terrorists, where are they from, and some corrections coming from the Tajikistan, because the shooters are all Tajiks. And then we also, of course, talk about the humanitarian issues, the devastation that has came, Putin and the Medvedev's, the former president's views about this entire thing, and of course, the Americans, and it's gonna be a little bit loaded, because this new format that I'm introducing goes into a lot of details. We are able to spread out across the whole thing in a very mind mapping way. So this is going to be a ride. For those that would love this video, do remember to press the like button and share this, and of course subscribe if you are new to this channel. So we're gonna start off with where is this terror attack had happened. If so, let me make sure that I did not accidentally. Okay, so this is Moscow, and the attack actually happened here. This is actually in the so-called outer Moscow already, not exactly inside the inner part, but a bit slightly to the outside near the Krasnogorsk, and this. But it's still pretty much in Moscow, in the larger sense, and if you go deeper, it's going to it looks like this. And so this is the Crocus City Hall, and this location, this is where the attack actually happened. And so we can actually look at the aftermath a bit. So let's look at the aftermath so that oh, my video is not playing. Wait. So some of this aftermath, you can see in this latest video. Give me shit. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. So this the latest situation. This is a helicopter flyby. You can see that the helicopter is flying through overhead of this building, and as they zoom in towards the building that I've pointed you to, you'll see there's massive hole on top, showing the collapse of the entire roof onto what is shown to be the theater. And if you go into this other footage, you'll be able to see that the footage actually taken from within, this concert hall, and you can see the sitting. You can see the people standing there. So this is actually the sitting, and so this is daybreak. This is already in the daytime. After the whole night of fighting the fire and clearing the parking lot and whatnot, you can see all this burnout stuff during the night. So the death toll, tentatively, the latest information is 133. So based on the investigators, and more bodies are still being recovered, because a lot of the people, allegedly around maybe 200, was actually still hiding within this theater, this concert hall, when the fire was burning, and the roof collapsed, and they may have killed more people as they were stuck within this burning debris. So the death toll, according to the investigation committee, say it's 133, and over 150 people were wounded, and most likely this means that they are hospitalized. So this actually is double the number of when I was initially covering this thing on Telegram and Twitter, and then I went to sleep, and then when I came back, the information was still not this yet. But then after I published the SITREP, apparently the updated numbers was even higher than what I was thinking. So this is a lot of casualties, and it's important to note that this concert venue actually can cover up to 7,500 when it's full capacity. So it's actually a very, very big place, and it was actually nearly full because there was a concert going on over at this concert hall, and as a result, it was very crowded. And in fact, when the attack happened, it was right just at the time where the concert was about to start. So from the room, from what I've seen, at least one of the performers is still missing right now. I think it's one of the musicians. So the first reaction coming. So this was actually, this was not moving the video. So this was during the scenes. This is by AP. This was the live stream of what was happening. While this, you can see this is a 5-hour stream. So they were on the scene, capturing this thing. I'm quite impressed, how many reporters they actually have to be able to capture everything, and are very timely. But so this was. The police and security forces and the ambulances all came within around 30 minutes time of the initial shooting. And however, some people complained that it was not fast enough. And the initial scene, there was helicopters, there was a lot of ambulance. At one point, there was more than 70 ambulance that was on the scene. There is multiple helicopters, I think between 3 to 5. Some of them was like this one was actually doing a medivac, medical evacuation. Some others are actually helping out in the firefighting department. So and then we also have security forces. These are some of these special forces that came in, and you can see this. These are the other special forces that was actually entering into the building itself, to start their operation. The two groups was known as the Alpha. Alpha. Okay, let me push this here. Alpha FSB and the SOBR Moscow. So one is the FSB's special ops, and another one I think is the national. I think it's the special operations. Don't know what. I don't know what kind of group. I'm not so familiar with the Russians. So anyway, you can see these are the two forces, two different uniform. One is all black. I believe this one is the FSB one, and this one is the more of the police, probably the police or the military version. And then one of the situation happening during all the chaos was the discovery of this Ukrainian licensed minibus. So this white minibus had the old Ukrainian license plate, and this actually caused some concerns. So they actually have the sniffing dog coming to make sure that it is not it does not have an explosive, and but also because of this scare, they started to they started to clear the entire car park. They went through all the parked vehicles and make sure that everything was cleared. So by the time when I woke up, like after 10 hours since my last update, they did confirm that the entire car park is all cleared. There's no explosive or IEDs was planted. So this attack was purely shooting. There is no other combined arms terror attack kind of thing. So some of the scenes of the things that had happened, this was in the very early the maybe like a tactical HQ kind of thing where they do initial investigation on the scene, and there is the police, the military, and then there's also the blurred out the actually dead people, and then they also have collected a number of magazines with bullets. They use X-ray to investigate everything. So very it looks like they are very well trained to dealing with this kind of stuff. In fact, Russia have a ministry of emergency events or something like that, emergency investigation or something. So they had so much this kind of thing that they actually have a specialized department for it, so specialized ministry for it. So that's actually interesting. And one of the stories that came out also was this interview, this civilian that actually took on one of these terrorists. So the terrorist was actually reloading, and he saw an opportunity and make a snap decision and decided to pounce on this terrorist and then attack the terrorist. Another terrorist actually came up to try to rescue his fellow terrorist, and then he also punched him and knocked him out. So that actually corroborates there was an arrest. There was an arrest on the scene. One of these terrorists was actually arrested on the scene. So no one know who was he at the moment of the arrest. So it could be one of these people that this guy has knocked out. And with his action, I think a few hundred people was actually rescued, because along with his wife and there's several hundred people following him out, running away from the scene. So it was quite interesting. But most of the people don't know. When they encounter the terrorists, is basically getting shot at. So it wasn't that pretty. The situation was actually quite horrendous. So these are some of the different outlets that have been reporting. These are MSNBC, this Guardian, and they all have interviewed people on the ground and whatnot. And some of them managed to show the scene of the shooting. I will not show the shooting here. If you want, you can actually go onto the DPA forum. So the DPA Telegram channel, and then we have a DPA forum that's on Telegram. Do check it out. The link is actually in the description below. You can see all the gory footages that come out due to this event in the Gore channel of the DPA forum. So this is civilians commemorating the people who have died, the victims of this incident. The flower laying is all across the world, all across Russia, and in fact at many of these Russian embassies. So this happened on the diplomatic front. Something interesting was that the Hamas, Houthis, and Taliban all in pretty early all have expressed condemnation of the attack and expressed condolences to the victims. And so that was interesting to me. Hamas, Houthis, Taliban, so they all reacted very quickly. And there are also many other countries, including from NATO. We have the United States, EU, Greece, France, Spain, all have actually sent their condolences. But including Armenia. Armenia have been having this decline in relationship with Russia in recent months to recent years. However, even they had declared the condolences to Russia. But what was stuck was that the Baltic states did not send their condolences. In fact, I think in Latvia, the flowers that were laid at the embassy was actually removed by the government, I believe, based on something that I've seen on the Twitter. So take that as a rumor, because I can't be sure. I basically just saw that. So talking about I think we covered most of this the situational side. So the perpetrators basically drove this car, this white Renault, and actually came. And in fact, it was interesting because the vehicle was actually spotted by this car camera. You can see this is the vehicle, and this one is the vehicle. You can see the people running towards the entrance. This car just happened to drove by, I believe, or maybe he's trying to park or something. So he got lucky because the terrorist actually was quite near. And What was interesting is that everybody have expected, in most of this kind of terrorist attack, especially if it's related to Islamic extremists, or or Islamic separatists, they tend to fight to the end. They will fight to the death. They will hold up hundreds of potential victims as hostage, and demand something. This attack is extremely unique, I think, in the history of Russia, where it was purely terroristic. There was actually no demand, because if you look at a separatist form of terrorism, you can see that they are resisting, they are trying to get their own liberation. You can justify it somehow. They fight for a political aim. But this attack is very unique because there wasn't any demands. They basically shoot and then they just ran away. So according to the information, this vehicle actually left at 8:13 in the local time, and this was actually pretty fast. I believe the attack probably wasn't even more than an hour, because a concert probably might start at 7:30. So if the concert was around 7:30, and that's around where the attack was, because I didn't check what time was the attack, but if the attack was happening only like half an hour to 40 minutes, and then they ran off. So but the thing is that there is a lot of security cameras, and it was spotted, and these attackers fled, which is why this is unusual, because there's no demand. They just run away. Usually, if for the terrorists that attack in Russia tends to have a demand, these guys just don't have it. So this is clearly a paid mercenary work. This is based on this kind of action, because there is no sacrifice, there's no martyrdom. There's no martyrdom. They are not there to make a statement. They just do something and ran off. So this is the action that we can analyze on. But this vehicle did not run very fast, because of this various video footages that managed to capture the identity of the car. They were being hunted, but they did drove pretty far away. So the car was eventually intercepted by security forces, and it was shot in the wheel. The car was disabled. The people start to run. The terrorists tried to run away. 2 was initially said to have run away, and then another 2, one was killed, 1 was injured. However, suddenly now the statement was that all was arrested. So I'm not sure what is the story. I didn't see any of the progression of this story, how it progressed. And so based on the information coming from the FSB, the FSB reported that they have arrested 11. 4 of these 11 was the directly involved with the attack. So these are the 4 shooters. They also have recovered a pistol, a magazine for AKM, so and the passports of the citizens in the cabin of the Renault. It's important to note there is no guns being recovered. The reason is because the terrorists have actually thrown away their guns in the forest while they are on the way trying to escape, try to flee. But somehow they missed out a magazine, so that's incriminating for them. And so they are traveling, at night in the village of Katsun in the Karashev district in Bryansk region. So where is this place? So the Moscow is here. You can see the attack. The attack happened here, and they have drove all the way to the Bryansk region. And the likely, the theory that came out from the Russian side was that they are trying to enter into Ukraine through the Bryansk region, the Bryansk border, and allegedly there was some arrangement from the Ukrainian side to allow them to escape in. Which I feel that they will just hit mines and die. That's what I think. But anyway, they managed. So essentially, they managed to really run pretty far. If you see the distance, and this is Bryansk city, and you can see that they are actually stopped here, and they are very clever also in the way that they have started to drove drive in the small roads rather than the big roads. So they do know what they're doing. They are very hell bent on escaping. So these have not worked out for them. They still got caught by security forces, and these security forces was totally not kind to them, to say the least. So the car didn't stop when the police asked them to, and then they tried to flee. So the shots are fired. The car overturned, and then one of the terrorists was arrested on the spot. The others fled into the forest. During the search, the second was located and arrested. So as per 3:50 a.m. So they actually ran away at 8 p.m. So they actually drove for 4-5 hours. So they probably thought that they might be able to get away in that sense. So the search for others was continuing based on this information that was copied from some time ago. And after that, so I'm not sure if this search for continue is related to the 11. Probably is, which means that there should be more arrests. But they say that all 4 terrorists that was directly involved was arrested. But here say the search continues. So I'm not sure. This information that I copy and paste is a bit weird. So anyway, it should be arrested. According to RT, Russia Today, they say that all four was arrested. So no, yeah, I believe that is the case. So yeah, I think the search for the others probably is collaborators. I think they are looking for collaborators. So coming back to this, to the suspect, while they were actually still on the run, there was actually some search warrant that was allegedly, posted to all the police in the Moscow region, and this was what was published. And so the fact that the identified perpetrators was actually Tajiks, actually bring Tajikistan into some kind of a diplomatic meltdown, because they were like so worried, and immediately there was like clarifying that because Tajikistan was one of those very early countries that did offer their condolences. After that, they came out with statements saying that they have received no information and confirmation from the Russian side that their citizens was involved. And in the one of the latest information, because based on this this arrest warrants that was published, the Tajikistan actually acted immediately to try to find in their own database to corroborate the information, and they found 2 of them that was published as suspect was actually still in Tajikistan. So they say that these guys have actually re-entered into Tajikistan from Russia on 26th of November, and they have been at the place of residence. So they actually even showed a passport, which means that the police in Tajikistan actually knocked their door and talked to them directly. And I believe that this guy was this guy. You can actually see the resemblance. This guy is this guy, and I think this guy is actually looks like this guy. Yeah, see, these 2 looks the same, and these 2 looks the same. So, which means that this arrest warrant is actually wrong. And when I first saw this information, when I did share this was I first saw it on Aussie Cossacks Telegram channel. I did post, I did share, but the information I did also put a note that this is information from the Aussie Cossacks, because I'm not sure, because based on this information, it's too a little bit incredulous that he have all this information, so I did not believe outright, and the information turned out to be not semi-correct, I would say, so not correct. So this part is not correct, and semi-correct in the sense that it might still be an official arrest warrant. So the arrest warrant might be real, but however, the arrest warrant, the fast identification of who might be involved is still wrong. So it's important to note, because it was very early in that process of investigation. They highlight who they might think is the most likely person. So even the arrested people, you can't really tell if it's the same person. I'm not sure if this guy is this guy, and I'm not sure if this guy is actually this guy. Yeah, like because this guy actually looks like this guy. It looks like this one. So which is why I have my doubts, about this, arrest warrants early, because how would they ever identify the actual person, so quickly? So anyway, they identified the car, which is kind of stupid for the terrorists, because they should get a second car or something, or just run into the woods, into a second prepared car far away. But anyway, yeah, they are not that smart, to even accept such a deal, to do this thing. So this is two of the people that was arrested, and there are others that is arrested. Some of the photos of footages is too brutal for YouTube, so I didn't share. So I put it on Telegram. You can actually go to the DPA forum to look for it, in the Gore channel. So according to the immediate interview, because the Russians, if you have been following the Ukraine war, you will know how the Russians do investigation. They are very quick at interrogating the people, and all the interrogation is recorded. So this guy was asked, and he replied that he shot people, and then it was for money. The promise was 500,000 rubles, which in US dollar is 5,000, which is actually quite a bit of money. And it's still, like I said, they're not that smart. They accepted such a stupid deal. Because and the fact that they try to run into Ukraine, not realizing that there's a war, the border is basically mined out, is a war zone. So anyway, the suspect also said that they have been listening to sermons, because these are Tajiks, they are Muslims, so they have been brainwashed by a Telegram channel, and they was approached by a mastermind around a month ago to design this attack, and these guys are just plain stupid to accept this. Then there was some interesting information coming out, claiming that these are ISIS people. ISIS seems to claim responsibility, which is weird, because since when ISIS do mercenary work? Like, if you want real ISIS is currently fighting the Taliban in Afghanistan. So so it's like, at least that is meaningful, because they are fighting for territory. This, I have no idea what they're fighting for. I don't get it. So a lot of people don't believe this, especially those that are pro-Russian, and they feel like, no, why are they covering their face? Because they would probably show their face if they are ISIS, because they were proud of what they are going to do. And then this photo also interesting. They deliberately wear the clothes that is exactly the same color as the four shooters. So this one was this one, this one is this one, and this one is this one. So change the color again. This one is this one, and then this one is this one, and then this brown one is this brown one. Yeah, I think so. So however, the thing is that Lord Bebo says that this shirt is different from this shirt, because there is some shirt design that is not visible here. So the fact that there is this discrepancy basically makes this entire photo not legitimate, because if they make an effort to wear the same clothes to show that they actually take this photo just before they went on an attack, so they would be wearing the same clothes, then how come the clothes is actually different? So yeah, that put into a lot of question. And I would say that the texture of the clothes also looks a bit different, because this kind of texture, but it may be far away, I'm not sure. So there's a lot of doubts about this. However, of course, on the flip side, on the anti-Russia side, they are also saying that this is a false flag from Russia. They say that the security forces came in too late. They took between 30-40 minutes to 1 hour to arrive, which personally, I think that is rather normal. What do you expect? 10-15 minutes. In 10-15 minutes, you're only going to get like 2 or 3 police cars. You're not going to get a full, like 40-50 police cars. You need to call back your forces, the police groups. You need to mobilize your special ops. Your special ops don't sit in the HQ every day doing nothing. No, I'm just waiting for something to happen. Of course, they have standby, but usually it's within they have a short period of time that they can actually have to react and get back to base. So usually within 30 minutes, 1 hour, I guess. So they're not supposed to travel very, very far. So there is reaction time. People don't sit there and immediately move off. So yeah, I mean, so I find it, whatever that had happened, actually the Russian side, in my opinion, have already acted really quickly. Like, I don't think it's reasonable to expect them to react even faster than what they have done. I mean, within an hour, you can see helicopters. The entire car park is full of fire engines, police cars and whatnot. And then you have the special forces, arriving, gathering, So it's pretty fast already, given that how big Russia is, and the fact that they are able to even arrest these guys and intercept the car so far away from the crime scene in a country that's so huge. For me, that is already amazing, That is already amazing how they are able to even find the car so far away. So that's what I think. And for RT news, so there is this is the official statement that was so-called allegedly posted by the ISIS. So they say that Islamic State fighters attacked a large gathering of Christians in the city of Krasnogorsk in the outskirts of Moscow, killing wounded hundreds and caused great destruction to the place before they withdrew to their base safely. This was the so-called statement told to Amak agency. However, RT said that this is false because this news template has already been abandoned by ISIS many years ago. So this can't be real, according to RT. So I'm not sure. That means that the Russian authority also do not buy this idea that this is actually ISIS ops. And for me, clearly, of course, the anti-Russia crowd have their own legitimate concerns. Russia would definitely want to throw everything on Ukraine, and this train of thought do make sense. However, the fact that these guys actually did drive towards the Bryansk region towards Ukraine, anyway, these guys are being interrogated. They are definitely not treated well at all. Like, the security forces of Russia is not going to be treating them nice and well. There is brutal image of one of the fighters' ear got cut off at this scene. So, and allegedly he was an Ahmad fighter. He was a Chechen fighter. Probably the military was actually mobilized. That was protecting the border was actually mobilized to actually hunt for all these vehicles. And then, it is what it is. So that was quite fascinating. And then there's also one more footage I didn't put in. It was a terrorist fighter that was in the hospital. The information wrote that he can't speak Russian at all. So that's very interesting. And then a translator was actually needed. So in that footage, he was on the hospital bed. He's a bit fat and he's totally naked. So so I definitely can't. I don't want to post that here. And it doesn't really add anything. So the full FSB statement then came saying, this is the announcement later, saying that 11 people were arrested. 4 was directly involved, which I already mentioned. They are also still working to identify accomplices and their bases. And the car was moving towards the Russian-Ukrainian border. They tried to escape. So coordinated action of special and law enforcement agency worked together and arrested all 4 within a few hours of each other. They are being transported to Moscow after arrest. So the work are currently identifying all the circumstances of the terrorist attack, and this already established that the attack is carefully planned, and the weapons was actually prepared in advance in the cage. So the weapons are actually provided to them and prepared, and the criminals are intending to cross the Russian-Ukrainian border and have relevant contacts on the Ukrainian side. So investigation investigation continues. So this is the Russian situation. The Russian position is that this is a Ukrainian thing. So on top of this, these two guys, Tajikistan also officially denied, because there was still one more guy was actually employed as a car driver in Samara, according to the Interior Ministry. So this initial arrest warrant is definitely some kind of a quick action. They just, I think it is for, then they just throw it out. So it feels like that kind of thing. So what else have I not covered? Let me see. So Medvedev. Okay. So Putin's statement. So Putin. Oops. I don't want to do this. Okay. So Putin actually have an official statement on this very issue, and some of this highlight that was noted in this RT article was that all the regions of the country and additional anti-terrorism and anti-saboteur measures has been introduced. So now they are trying to prevent the masterminds behind this attack to commit another attack. So that is the primary aim of the Russians right now. So he also officially Putin is now saying that these attackers are fleeing towards Ukraine, and according to the preliminary data, there is a window for them to cross the border that is prepared on the Ukrainian side. I wonder how are they going to do that, or has anything to do with the previous attack towards Belgorod? Maybe yes, maybe not. Or maybe there is already Ukrainian commandos or special units that had already managed to infiltrate into the Bryansk region that would be able to meet with these guys. We're not sure. So Putin said that the perpetrators, organizer, and mastermind will get punished, and they will identify and punish everyone that stands behind the terrorists who attack Russia and its people. So Medvedev, the former this guy, the former president, was also very angry, and he after going into semi-retirement has always been super fierce in his statements. So he said that terrorists only understand terror in response. So no trial and investigation will help if force is not countered with force. Death with execution of terrorists and crackdown on their family. Noting that this was the way of the world. So basically, he wanted revenge. Like, he even want to crack down on the families. So that is very medieval. And so if these terrorists turn out to be the Ukrainians, and then they say that they cannot deal with these people differently, all must be found and mercilessly destroyed, including officials of the state that committed such an atrocity. So because of such statements, there is concerns that this may lead to an expansion of the Russian operation in Ukraine, or even a conversion from the special military operation into a total war, a declaration of war on Ukraine. So tentatively, this is the fear right now, and we are not sure if this is going to be the case. Medvedev don't really have that kind of power, although he's the deputy chair of the National Security Council. The final decision is probably still on Putin, and Putin is not so bullish in terms of expanding the war. And the US statement is also very interesting. Anthony Blinken says that the United States condemns the attack, and they stand in solidarity with the people of Russia in grieving the loss of this after the horrific event. And which is interesting. After United States have been sending weapons to Ukraine to kill Russians, I'm very confused, honestly. I don't get it. I don't get it. The logic. This logic is very confusing. So, and one last thing is that the Americans seem to also know a lot, something. So you can see that this is actually from the U.S. Embassy of Russia, and on the 7th of March they actually issued a security alert to avoid large gatherings over the next 48 hours which means on the 7th, 8th, and 9th of March. And they say that they're monitoring reports that extremists may have imminent plans to target large gathering in Moscow, including concerts. And this part, including concerts, is particularly specific. Like, why so specific? You know, they could like, including shopping malls. You know, you could have written that, you know, or something else, you know. But somehow they wrote concerts, very specific. And then the US citizens are advised to avoid large gathering over the next 48 hours. So avoid crowds, you know, monitor local media updates and be aware of their surroundings. And then, of course, they provide all the information for assistance. So this is actually very, very disturbing, particularly, you know, to include concerts being mentioned. And yeah, it's really, really sus. For me, I wrote on Telegram. If you are not following on DPA Telegram, follow lah, you know. I just say that it's just very sus, no? So I believe I have covered, you know, basically everything I have noted in this war. So anyway, hope this, you know, is give you all the general picture of what's happening. So in case you are more interested to continue to monitor the situation, at least you have some kind of a background of what is happening. This is definitely not over. Russia is definitely going to uncover more things, like more bodies, more people who died from the injuries. We're probably going to see, you know, more people getting arrested, and I'm not sure it will trigger, you know, further diplomatic problem with Ukraine, expanding the war in Ukraine from a special military operation to a total war. And if does it translate into a total war between Russia and Ukraine, Russia is going to fight in a very different way, which means that there might be another wave of mobilization to expand the number of forces, and then, you know, and do this crippling military operation on Ukraine that will effectively crush Ukraine and maybe even not allow Ukraine to exist at all into the future, because Russia will see Ukraine as a national security threat entirely based on just this one act. It is the same reasoning Israel has been particularly evil, or particularly heavy-handed on the Palestinians, because it is the same thing. Because once a state or an organization, or supposed to be a group of people that is supposed to represent a state, uses terrorist attacks, as a means to an end, which for this don't even have an end, then negotiations and conversation dialogues becomes meaningless. Because remember, most countries, or if not all countries, have a policy of no negotiations with kidnappers or terrorists. That's usually the case. So, there's a reason why they don't, because there is no meaning in doing that. So if Russia start to see Ukraine as a terrorist state, then like what Ukraine is seeing Russia, Ukraine basically enacted a law to forbid negotiation with Russia because they view Russia as a terrorist state. So if Russia do the same, then there will be no peace deal, which means it will be war. So anyway, we shall see how this progress. Thank you for watching. Again, do press the like button, share this. If you feel that it's good information, do share this. It may not be entertaining, I think. It may not be entertaining, but this is news, this is information. If you think the information is good, do share this. And I'm running out of voice, so I can't talk anymore. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next update.